think this is the proper first round. So we've got that coming up. We've got CM Punk in action as well. We've got Jericho Appreciation Society. We've got a women's match on there as well. It should be a good women's match, actually. Toni Storm against Jamie Hayter tonight, which I think is really interesting because I think they both went and did work over in Japan. So that could be like they might have wrestled in Japan against each other. I genuinely don't know. So that would be a women's match I'd be really, really excited for. I'm not into your Penelope Fords, your Anna Jays, your Ty Contis, but I am into your Serena Deebs, your Toni Storms, and your Jamie Hayters, and your Britt Bakers. So, yeah, that'll be good. I'm down for that. Let me read through the card and then we'll jump into the chat. We got Ricky Starks taking on Jungle Boy. This is for the FTW Championship. We've got Jericho Appreciation Society victory speech because they are celebrating recent victories. We've got Danhausen making his in-ring debut against Tony Nese. Really don't know what to expect there, but I know that there's a lot of people very excited about Danhausen. We've got the contract signing between MJF and Wardlow. I mean, contract signings never go well. I'm pretty sure I know what to expect there. And it should be fun. I think that's a good story at the moment. CM Punk and John Silver. I really like John Silver. I got no shade on that. I know it's just like a random Dark Order member, but honestly, I really like John Silver. So I'm quite down for seeing that match. I do expect CM Punk to win it, but we've got that. Darby Allin against Jeff Hardy, first round of the Owen Hart tournament. Toni Storm, Jamie Hayter, as we said, first round of the Owen Hart tournament. And Adam Cole, Bay versus Dax Harwood in the first round of the Owen Hart tournament. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 things lined up for AEW Dynamite. Anna, hello. Hope you are well. Hello to Dylan, 1 Minute Wrestler. Shout out to James Chadwick. Shout out to Kieran. Says, what's your thoughts on De Jong to United? Where are we with this deal? I mean, if it happens, I'm all for it. It doesn't really matter who Man United bring in, because I have to think that whoever comes in, Man United closing in on stunning 80 million euro move for Barcelona star Frankie de Jong. Whoever they bring in, Man United, they're doing it because Ten Hag wants them. Yeah, no one's coming into United that Ten Hag has not given a green light to at the very least. And someone like Frankie de Jong, you know Ten Hag's gone in and gone, get me Frankie de Jong. So I know this isn't wrestling related, but lots of talk this evening. News breaking over the past few hours that it's 95% likely to happen and all this kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty good that we'll get him. And I'm thinking that it's not the person I would be going out and spending money on, to be perfectly truthful. It's not like if you said name 5 players you want Man United to sign, De Jong would not have been one of them. But listen, if Ten Hag has said, get me this player, he's the engine room that I need, he's the guiding, shining light in the locker room that I need, go and get him, then I ain't got no problems with it. We back him. We back Ten Hag. That's what we do. Evo said, I appreciate the entertainment and I appreciate the live streams. Evo, shout out to you. Thank you. A tier 1 from Barcelona said 95% done, says Kieran. Are you watching Rangers in the Europa League final? I don't have any plans to... Well, I might have it on. I don't know, to be honest. But I don't have any plans to stream it. So, no shade on Rangers. I wish them all the best. I actually hope they win. So Rangers have my support. But I just don't think we've got a very big Rangers part of our community, to be honest. We've done a whole season of Premier League watch-alongs, and I even tried to do like a West Ham Europa League watch-along, and it was one of our least viewed streams that we did. So it sort of sent me the message that the interest in even watching West Ham in Europa League was not where our community is. So watching Rangers, who are obviously not a Premier League team, I think would be even more limited. So, yeah, one that I might keep an eye on, but not one that I'm streaming. But I wish Rangers all the very best. We might get to hear Cult of Personality and Judas tonight. No way! Jim said, I would have loved to have seen Daisy's reaction to Sarray magically changing clothes between Gorilla and Entranceway. She's been doing that for a little while. I roll my eyes at it. To be honest, I rolled at first when she did it. I thought, well, it could just be a little edited part of her entrance. Do you know what I mean? It's just, they played this video of her backstage before she comes out, and then when she comes out, she's wearing a wrestling attire. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to mean that what we see backstage is literally the seconds before she then emerges out in the thing. It could just be part of her entrance that here's a video clip of her backstage and now look, oh wow, magically she's changed clothes, when really she hasn't. And of course she hasn't. So in my mind I was always like kind of, I don't want to say justifying it that way, but that's a way that works for me with, like, you know, my appreciation of wrestling. But yeah, I mean, it's still silly. It's still silly in my opinion. I'm still not a fan of it. It's still not my bag, as you know. So I don't know. I really don't know what they're doing with her and all of that now. I genuinely haven't watched NXT. Not only have I not streamed it, I haven't watched it. I haven't had a chance to watch it. So you know, using that time for other things, which is really good. Really focused on the summer, keep talking about it. But I really want to get going with some of the videos, and it's really positive. I'm in a really good place. I'm like excited for the summer, but just got to get a few things like, got to get the football season finished. That's what we got to get finished. Get the football season finished. Channel can then settle down over there, and then we can be fully focused over here, and that's kind of where we are at the moment. I missed Cody on BSS. Did I miss anything? BSS? Broken Skull Sessions. Did you miss anything? I still haven't actually seen all of it, but I've probably watched over half of it now. And I would say it was good, but not essential. I would say it was insightful, but not earth-shattering. I don't feel like there was really much that's been... He said so much already, in all fairness to him. So, yeah, there was some really, really interesting stuff that came out, but nothing that I think is like, yeah, you need to go and check this out. Oh, there's a big reveal or anything like that. Hamad, shout out to you. Punk versus Silver is happening because he's from Long Island, and Hangman being friends with Dark Order and facing Punk at Double or Nothing, says Pete. Every time he says, let's get the season finished, it's just another dagger, said Dark Knight. Listen, you're having an amazing season, but some of us are not, right? So some of us are desperate for this season to end. So you'll have to excuse all of us Man United fans that are sat here going, is it done yet? Have they closed the season yet? Come on. I'm swearing, my clock's stopped, I'm sure. Come on. Desperately trying to move time forward so we can just get this season shut down. Edward said, I'm not going to watch AEW tonight. I'm just going to watch you on my TV. Okay, that was creepy. But Edward, shout out to you. Nelson said, will you do NXT in the future or are you done? It's a similar answer, I'm afraid, to my people asking me about football. Like, what are you doing in the future? And I keep having to say the same answer because it's the truth. And the truth is that I am literally just trying to get to the summer. I'm just literally trying to get through the next couple of weeks. So we keep doing what we're doing. We get through these couple of weeks. As soon as we're through these couple of weeks, I then want to drop content on the channel. But it's like, what content do I drop on the channel? And obviously I need to be thinking about that now, prepping that now, getting graphics made for that now, whatever I need to be doing for that now. So my focus is very much on that, more so than, you know, does the football channel come back next season? Does NXT return at some point? I mean, it really is all going to depend on when we make some new videos, how do they go down? I mean, if I do them and people are loving them, well then, I'm going to keep doing them and lean into them and, keep that going. If I do them and people don't enjoy them, well then I have to think again, don't I? So it's really hard to answer any future questions because it really depends on how, the summer goes. Would you prefer De Jong or Declan Rice? You do realise Frankie's one of the best in the world. Rice couldn't lace Frankie's boots. De Jong has been a little inconsistent. I mean, I don't watch Barca, so I can't comment too much. But what I do know is that ESPN have commented a lot on Barcelona games because what ESPN FC tend to do is they will talk about Man United, they will talk about Liverpool, they will talk about Real, they will talk about Barcelona, they will talk about Inter, they'll talk about Juve. They basically touch on just the big teams from every European country. And so I've heard quite a bit about Barcelona this year, and I've heard quite a bit about Frankie De Jong, and as a result I've got an image of him which could be incorrect, but I've got an image of him not quite settling into that Barcelona team, and also having quite ineffective games. Yes, being a very skillful player and someone that is going to be a great purchase for United, a great asset. I don't have a problem with that. But I would be taking Declan Rice every day of the week. I would be taking Declan Rice every day of the week over Frankie De Jong. And I think Manchester United would as well. But I think that price has scared United away. And so now we've got De Jong, and I'm fully supportive of it because, as I said, if that's who Ten Hag wants, then done, fine, have him with love. I'll pick him up and drive him over. So certainly no complaints from me. But if you're asking me who would I prefer, I would prefer Declan Rice. But if it's not feasible because of the price, I'm quite happy to support Ten Hag. Chris, shout out to you. Do you think Hook will help Danhausen? I think so. I think we'll definitely move into them being a partnership, and I'm not too sure how I feel about it, to be honest. I don't want to be down on it because I know people are really into it and really like Danhausen, but him coming out and doing these spells, and I don't know, it just seems like a bit of silliness around Hook. Hook has been a badass. Hook has come out and laid in these takedowns, and we've all been really impressed with how much he's really laid in his work. And I mean, he's beaten the likes of QT Marshall, and he might have beaten, was it JD Drake or someone, but we haven't really got going with Hook. He hasn't really been in a war or been in a feud. I suppose the QT Marshall was a sort of a feud, but now all of a sudden Danhausen's come along, and this is a very different dynamic. We've got Danhausen doing putting spells on Hook, and I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think this is the way I personally would have gone with Hook. I think Hook was showing some interesting potential, and then he's got a bit stale. I think a lot of his matches have been the same moves, and it's sort of the same thing, but just against different opponents. I think they're trying to freshen it up and do something a bit different by putting Danhausen with him. And who knows, it might work. It might work. It's just the segments I've seen so far haven't quite landed for me. But I have to say, I'm very aware that the reaction online and the reaction in the arena has been overwhelmingly positive. So it's clearly working for people. So yeah, I think that you will see Hook coming down and getting involved, because there's clearly some relationship there. There's clearly some union there. And I can see that continuing to grow and build. Anna says, AOP, is that the Authors of Pain? Are starting their own promotion, Wrestling Entertainment Series. Wes, for short, have a show in Dubai in a couple of months with indie wrestlers. Authors of Pain. Is that who we're saying? The tag team, AOP, have got their own wrestling promotion now called Wrestling Entertainment Series. Okay, interesting. And now I've not heard about that at all, to be honest. But Anna, with that knowledge, Anna dropping that info. Appreciate it. Scout, hello Scout. Hope you're well, buddy. Hope Australia is well. So big shout out to Scout81SD, said good day, Days. I also sent you a sticker. Thumbs up. Do you like the accent? It's good, isn't it? Scout, really appreciate it. But you say you sent... Oh, yeah, you did. Sorry, I did miss that. That slipped past. But I can see you've got a lovely pair there, Scout. You've got an absolutely lovely pair. And I really like the sticker as well. So a big shout out to you. Maldy said, what about once a week on football days through the summer? We could do a stream where we talk all things football, transfers and stuff. Yeah, I do like that. I like that because it feels like it's something that is definitely achievable. I think like those like daily streams or regular videos or things of that ilk, I think would be a challenge. But once a week could be potential. I don't want to commit to anything, because I certainly don't want people going, oh, do you remember on that stream when you said you was going to do this and you didn't do it? So that's why I'm always very non-committal. Because again, just to go back to my original comment, very focused on the summer, want to make sure that goes well. That's going to dictate the future. But I do like that idea, Mouldy. Roger said, Man United are 95% of signing De Jong. There's a lot of football talk. There's probably more football talk here than we get on the football channel. Stephanie said, I think Hook will tease us and trick Danhausen by coming out, but not helping. Not helping. He's not going to be helpful. Who do you think will join Judgment Day? Who do I think will join Judgment Day? I don't know. Will they level up again soon, do you think? I sort of feel like they might run with these three for a little while. I think that this is probably building towards a 6-person mixed tag match. Liv, AJ, Finn against Rhea, Damian Priest, and Edge. I feel they need someone. You could put Balor in there. You could always do the story of Balor turning on AJ, and then, add Balor. I would not go any more than that. That would be it done for me. I wouldn't make that group any bigger than 4, because I think you can have a champion, you can have tag team champs, you've got a woman that could go after the women's championship. I understand you could go, yeah, but what about someone going after the mid-card belts? But the mid-card belts don't mean anything, do they? I don't think the mid-card belts matter. I don't even think Vince knows he's got mid-card belts. Well, he probably knows that Theory's got one of them, in all fairness. But I don't know that he knows Ricochet has got the other one. So I don't think that's too important. That's kind of like, in my mind now, that's like saying, well, who's going to go after the women's tag titles? It's like, I don't think it really matters. So I would have someone go after the big title, someone go after the tag belts, and Rhea Ripley go after the women's. That'll do for me. I think that would do. I wouldn't make it. I think once you start getting bigger than that, it's going to be hard to showcase everyone, and people will get lost and underutilized and all that kind of stuff. I think that 3 or 4 is the right number for me. Yeah, you look at NWO, it got bloated. It was too bloated. And same with Nexus. Nexus was great as a unit, but it didn't really help the individuals that were in Nexus get over. I mean, once Nexus was over, they all had to end up changing their names and getting different gimmicks because none of them got the spotlight needed to actually get over with the crowd. So I think that Finn Balor could fit in. I really would look at T-Bar or Mace. It's been spoken about on the channel before, but I do think those two are big guys. They will look great as like the enforcer role. The guy that stands in the background. You got Damian Priest, who's a big guy. You got Edge, you got Rhea Ripley, obviously looks great in the women's division, and then just a monster standing behind them all. Like, Mace and Dominik Dijakovic are not small. They're decent size. I'm pretty sure they would be bigger than Damian Priest and bigger than anyone in that group. So I don't mind them either, and it gives them something to do. So, yeah, I don't know, be exciting. We'll have to see. I know there'll be people that will say Tommaso Ciampa is maybe an option. And he could be, but I wouldn't go that way. I've said before, Tommaso to me is someone that's a lone wolf. He's someone that's out for himself. I don't think I can see him joining, being like, yes, master type thing to Edge. I can't see that from Tommaso. I can't see it. Who knows? Mr. Paint Dude, shout out to you. On the point, what would make the mid-card belts mean more? We've touched on that a few times, Brenton. It's a really good question. I think that they need to be put into exciting feuds. I think they need to have great matches. I think the match quality matters. I think there's too many times where they'll have a match on SmackDown. I mean, it's so hard to have a match on SmackDown and for it to be good because it's constantly being interrupted with commercial breaks. It's also got to, have a nice flow to it. It's got to be quite engaging. People flicking through the channels. You need to try and convince them to stick around. So that can really hurt the build of a match. Like sometimes, the truth is you do have to have a nice slow build. You have to target body parts. You have to, do you know what I mean? To tell that story, to actually lay the foundation to build a match upon it. You actually have to, change your pace and things like that. AEW do a much better job of putting on entertaining matches on their shows, but they are full of spots, million miles an hour, but they're great if you're flicking the channels. WWE has never leaned into that. It's very rare. They go like million miles an hour, multiple spots kind of a thing. Like there's a bit of a WWE style that I would say is different to the AEW style. I would say the WWE in-ring is different to the AEW in-ring. And I think it can be tricky for them to actually have like really good matches. I think it needs to be a key feud. It needs to be, dare I say, even main eventing some B shows. So if you had, like, I don't know, say, for example, heel Rey Mysterio attacking Ricochet, and heel Rey Mysterio is trying to get, like, just the idea of a heel Rey Mysterio, I think, is quite interesting. But a heel Rey Mysterio who doesn't think he's being treated as the legend that he is, attacking Ricochet, and Ricochet's this new imposter that's going to come along and be the new Rey Mysterio when Rey Mysterio is still there. Like, Mysterio's not putting up for that disrespect. And you could really build up an engaging program, an engaging feuds. Ricochet can talk about how he idolized Rey Mysterio, give you a chance to look at back some of Rey's, iconic moments, the fact he was a world champion. I just sort of feel like there's a wealth of stuff you could dig into. And just think of what the match would be like with chains off, Rey Mysterio, Ricochet, on a pay-per-view, in a main event for the Intercontinental Championship. And you can build it up by saying this isn't just about the belt. This isn't just about the Intercontinental Championship. This is about Rey Mysterio proving that he is still the best high flyer in WWE, that he is still the standard bearer, and this is about Ricochet really trying to take that crown. Ricochet trying to prove that he is now the best. That's just one example of something that you could do, that you could like really build up, dig into some history. It involves a legend. There's a reason as to why you could position it at the top of a B card pay-per-view. I think that there's definitely some stuff there that you could draw out of it. And, that's what made the Intercontinental so important the first time around, was we were seeing Bret Hart versus Mr. Perfect. And we were seeing great matches, great wrestlers competing to try and find who is the best worker, who is the best, what is the match you're most excited for seeing. You would look at a card and go, where's the Intercontinental match? That's going to be a banger. That's going to be great. And so for a lot of fans, that was, before the show even started, going to be a highlight. And the matches always delivered. It's just absolute. They can't even get onto the pay-per-views now. And in recent years, look at Nakamura. He didn't even defend it. So, it never gets defended. We don't see feuds. It doesn't get onto the pay-per-views. When we do get feuds, it's Ricochet versus Los Lotharios. There's no build to it. There's no story to it. I don't even know what Ricochet's doing right now. Genuinely right now, I couldn't tell you what Ricochet's doing. I don't know. I have no idea what feud is in. I can't even remember if I've seen him. I might have, But if I have, it's not been memorable enough to come to my mind right now. So, you know, it's just completely overshadowed by Roman. Doesn't get the time it needs. There's no exciting feuds. There's no place for it on a pay-per-view. It can't even main event SmackDown. Can't even get into the main. How's it going to main event pay-per-views and all this? So it needs that level of focus to feel prestigious again and important again. I don't know if it ever will, to be honest. Well, I'm sure it'll come back around, but probably won't. Jeremy says, Wardlow is my real uncle in real life. Kind of cool. I have lots of autographs with him, says Jeremy. That is very cool. Chris says, Mace would look good in Judgment Day, but that's about it. He can't have an entertaining wrestling match. My nan has got more in-ring talent. I suppose the challenge would be for Edge to work with him. You know, surely one of the things Edge should be doing is working with young talent and sharing his experience and his wealth. I mean, it's not even just about in-ring, but it's just about, you know, how you don't fall into certain pitfalls, how you focus on the task in hand, focus on the shows, how you know, carry yourself as a champion, the expectations that are put on you, like this whole wealth of knowledge, all this stuff all these experiences that Edge has had, the mistakes that Edge has made that, you know, Damian Priest can learn from and everything. I just think that's really, really invaluable. I don't think it works all the time. If you look at Amos and AJ, I just thought that was a big waste of time. And you know, Mace could be a big waste of time in Judgment Day as well. I honestly, until you do it, sometimes you just don't know. But I do like the look. I think if he was in a tag team with Damian Priest, I think that would be a really good way to use both of them, because Damian Priest is better in solo matches. There's no denying that, but still feels like there's something missing. So to put say Mace and Priest in a tag team and have them go after the tag titles, that would have them doing something for a while, something engaging. I think it's probably one of the best uses of them. And honestly, if we're saying that we're at the level where we can't even have Mace doing that, then he just shouldn't be in WWE, should he? He just shouldn't be there at all, full stop. Who do you think is Samoa Joe's mystery opponent? I don't believe that's tonight, but I think that might be next week. I mean, Cesaro said soon, so I'm always torn on that, because that might mean that it's not him. You know, whenever they tweet out these little teasers and everything, I can't be the only one that looks at them and goes, yeah, well, it ain't going to be him then, is it? So I'm thinking it might not be Cesaro, but I don't think Johnny either. I really don't think Johnny. I don't think Johnny Gargano. I think they've just had a kid. Literally just had a kid. I know that they've gonna need money. I fully appreciate that. But just had a kid. I don't know that they're going to go back to AEW. I would have to think that WWE would put a juicy contract down for Johnny. Tommaso's gone to the main roster, for example. I'm sure Johnny's finding out what it's like through him. Got to think they talk. So I feel like Johnny's the outsider. But I feel like Cesaro's definitely got a chance. But probably the favourite would be Miro. The favourite, I think, would be Miro. I know that might be a little disappointing, but it's not always about new people coming in. It's not always about new people coming in. Sometimes it's about returning superstars. And Miro coming back, I think, would be a positive. Would be a good addition to the roster. Right, Adam Cole, baby. It's sad Vince can't write a good storyline apart from the Roman ones. There used to be about 9 or 10 on the go. Jim said Cesaro should go to Impact. They need a credible challenger for Josh Alexander. Here is Adam Cole, baby. That means we're getting Adam Cole against Dax. Starting the show. Adam Cole against Dax. Adam Cole, baby. Do you think Kota Ibushi will sign with AEW? I don't think so. I mean, is he leaving New Japan or anything? I thought he was one of their top stars. He won the belts just the other year. In fact, yeah, it was last year, wasn't it? He's a great talent. But I don't know. Unless there's something going wrong in New Japan, I wouldn't expect him to. Reese Wrestling is getting a lot of responses. Will you wear your shoes on the wrong feet and show the camera? If you do it, I will never ask again. I don't actually wear shoes, so I can't. I always just tend to wear socks around the house, which is a bad habit, actually, because it does kind of wear them, like, through very quickly. Here is Dax, and he's got his Living Legend jacket on. Dr. Martha Hart, Owen Hart Foundation. Did it say president? It's Owen's. Is widow the right word? I'm going to say widow. Jaden said, Mr. Days, are you excited for Dynamite? Well, there's elements that I'm excited for, yes. There's things I'm also a little bit like, not sure how that's going to go. But overall, yeah, there's definitely some stuff on here that I think looks good, and this should be a great little match. I don't think these two were in... they certainly... I say that, but I certainly don't think they were in NXT at the same time. I think they were in WWE at the same time, but I don't think they ever would have crossed paths. I'm trying to think if the Revival ever went up against Undisputed Era. I don't think they did. Adam Cole, baby. This is, I would say Adam Cole is one of the most important people in the history of NXT. And I would say the Revival is one of the most important tag teams in the history of NXT. So it's kind of cool to see these two going up against each other. I'm not a fan, really, of just one half of a tag team, like, having a singles match. I really think if you're in a tag team, like, that's what you do. You're a tag team specialist. You're a tag team guy. Like, having a singles match, unless your team's broke up, I wouldn't really do it. But this is an exception because I really like the fact they made them go up against each other. So it's like there's only one member of FTR in this tournament, and it's the one that won that match. So, Dax deserves to be here. He beat his tag partner to be here. I think that was really good booking. And this is in a tournament as well. And he's made his feelings known about how much, Owen Hart and the Hart family mean to them. And you totally believe it, as I believe it. I'm sure you believe it. I think we all believe it. So I really like that. This is definitely, I don't want to say an exception, but I suppose it is. If this was just a regular match, like we hadn't had, there was no tournament, then I'd be like, oh, I'm not keen on this. Days doesn't do excitement. Life has tricked him far too many times. The last drop of excitement seeped out during the last Thug Rose fight. That is true. That is true. Apparently, WWE is going to offer the Revival a juicy contract to come back. I can't imagine they will take that, to be honest, but... what are your thoughts on Punk bashing Eric Bischoff after him making comments on his podcast about how AEW is struggling to grow their audience and not going after casuals? I've not heard the comments, to be honest. I don't listen to Bischoff's podcast. I've nothing against Bischoff. I have heard bits of it in the past, and I have heard him being critical of AEW. What he's said in the past is that he's not down on AEW. He's just trying to be fair, level-headed, and express what he's seeing. But it does come across at times like he's got a bit of an agenda against them. Because, he was on the show and everything was seemingly great. And then, just, I don't know, recent months, he's kind of come out and started to, criticize the booking, and it does feel like something's changed. But he's saying that he's just, calling it as he sees it, and I think he's certainly burnt some bridges as a result of doing that. And it seems that one of those bridges is burnt is maybe with CM Punk by the sounds of it. But, I mean, it's hard to agree with what he's saying because the numbers are the numbers. Do you know what I mean? Like, they keep getting 900,000 to 1 million, which suggests they've got their audience and they're not attracting new people. But the same can be said for SmackDown, for Raw, for NXT. Like, the same can be said for all the other wrestling shows as well. So I don't think it's fair to just isolate AEW in that case. But, yeah, he's certainly not building bridges, is he? Kick here by Dax. Dax was thrown into the ring steps. We're on the outside of the ring. Jilly, hello. Solid card tonight, says Jilly. James said, FTR already said, do they really want us back, or do they just not want AEW to have us? Are you streaming AEW, or you can do it? Rampage. I'm not 100% sure what time it's on. I'm sure someone told me last week it's similar time, or even a bit later than last week. I would say that I will do it. I can easily change to do it, but I wouldn't go too far away from SmackDown for it, if that makes sense. I'll have to have a look, see when it is. Because once you start moving like hours away from SmackDown Rampage, it just then warrants its own stream, and it does not warrant its own stream. So if it's close enough, then I can do them both. But if it's going to be like, do you know what I mean? It ends and then we've got to wait 2 hours to get to SmackDown, we probably won't do it. But I think it's quite close. I've got a feeling it's probably like an hour. It ends an hour before SmackDown, which would be fine. That would be fine. Reese said, do you think Cody will help Vince take people from AEW to WWE? Yes and no. So I think yes, because I think if someone is interested in going to WWE, they now have someone that they can contact and get their opinion. And I think Cody will be honest. And I think if he doesn't think it's right for them, he'll say that. If he thinks it's wrong for them, he'll say no. If he thinks it's right, he'll say yes. But I think that if that person like really wants to get to WWE, Cody can be a big help. So, you know, let's say MJF falls out with Tony Khan. I don't think he will, but let's say he does. Falls out with Tony Khan and he's more inclined to go to WWE. I think, you know, Cody being there is going to make that a much smoother, easier transition than Cody not being there. So I think he helps in that sense. But do I think that Vince is going to say to Cody, get me MJF, and Cody will go and convince him? No, 100% no. Do I think Vince will say, go and get me Wardlow, and he'll speak to Cody, and Cody will send him a message and try and convince him? No, 100% no. I don't see Cody doing that. I think Cody is very much just going to let them make their own choices. He's not going to do the dirty work for Vince McMahon. So, because the thing is, Cody has also shown that he doesn't need WWE. If Cody turns around to Vince and says, I'm not going to do that, then what's Vince going to do? Fire him. Because if he fires him, Cody just goes back to AEW. It's no skin off Cody's nose. Cody is in actually quite a good position of power here. Cody is, you know, getting everything he wants in WWE. He's quite happy. Stories are good at the moment. And, you know, if it doesn't work out, he's got somewhere to go. Because you know that AEW would take him back. Absolutely, they would. I mean, now that he's been back on WWE TV as well, he's getting, you know, loads of exposure to potential audience that haven't even checked out AEW. So, you know, he would absolutely be welcome back. We're back in the ring with this one. Heather says, MJF will eventually be AEW champion. I don't know if Vince would ever put the belt on him. He might put the belt on him in a Miz sense. You know how the Miz has had it a couple of times, but those reigns have never really been anything. I mean, I suppose you could say the first one was not, the worst. It wasn't the worst. It's not like he only held it for 7 seconds or anything. I mean, he did have some matches and then, main evented a WrestleMania. So, technically has a win against John Cena from WrestleMania 27. So, nice German by Dax on Adam Cole Bay. Fight has got Rampage starting at 10:30. Oh, that's the same as last week then. So that's all right. I don't mind that. If it starts at 10:30, then that means that it finishes at 11:30 and SmackDown starts at 1. So it's an hour and a half. I would say that is the limit for me. If it got to like 2 hours, then I'd be like, nah. All of a sudden, then it just needs a separate stream. That would seem too long. I mean, we'd be doing a 3-hour stream before we even got to SmackDown. So, but if it's half 10, that'd be all right. Dax comes crashing down from the corner, picks up Adam Cole, bounces him off the rope, sit down powerbomb, 2, kick out. Lol. MJF is my AEW champion on 2K22. Much love for Tony Khan said, hustle for love. Brenton said, when was the last time AEW had a contract sign-in? MJF Wardlow will be the first one in a while. I remember one. I don't know if it was the last one. Did Thunder and Britt do one? Did Thunder and Britt do one? I can't remember now. Shoulder up. Shoulder up by Dax. The watch time would be great, though. Watch time, schmotch time. That's what I say. They're increasing the price of AEW Plus to $5.99. Why is the cost of everything going up? Don't know. Probably Russia. Thoughts on wrestlers winning championships in empty arenas and Thunderdomes? For me, I find it weird to look back at some of those title reigns. There's nothing you could do, is there, really? There's not much you can do. You couldn't really run with just the same champions and have it, no new champions. So, I can understand why there were title changes. But, yeah, I mean, look, the Thunderdome in particular, I thought was a really bad period for WWE. 1, 2, kick out by Adam Cole. Life Off Dance, shout out to you, Bird, said, are we enjoying AEW? It's a good first match, this. Good first match. Lots of close, near falls. Both guys being quite competitive. AEW chant from the crowds. There's a dude in the front row who's got his arms in the air. Trying to... There's a couple in the front row that are acting like cheerleaders for the crowd. So, there, he stood up and he was looking around and he was trying to get everyone else to, join in with him. Adam Cole going for Panama Sunrise. You don't get that from Green Shirt Guy. Just wanted to point that out. Going for the sharpshooter, but a kick by Adam Cole. Adam Cole back up. He's going again for Panama. Yeah, good. I'm really glad he didn't get that because you could tell that Dax was waiting. And I really like the fact that Dax reversed it to shoulder up. Thoughts on AEW getting 2 $1 million gates in the span of 2 months, Double or Nothing and Forbidden Door? Does it help the case with getting a new TV deal? Not really. I mean, it's a number that you can take into a meeting. Do you know what I mean? I would imagine that if you want to justify the fan base and if you want to explain that the fan base is a legit fan base, going in with those sorts of numbers and saying, look, on this date we did X amount million gate. On this date, we did an X million gate. Shows that not only is there an audience there, but an audience that's so engaged they will put their money where the mouth is. I mean, you could also bring in some numbers in regards to AEW shop if you wanted to give just ballpark numbers. Don't need to bring in specifics unless they ask for them, but you could tell them how much money is being spent next. Again, similar to the tickets, it shows that not only is there an audience there, because it's hard to know, isn't it, how many people in that viewership are just watching because, oh, it's on, and how many are actively engaged. AEW, we are going to tune into this in the future. Things like ticket sales and things like merch sales, I would think were good indicators to show that the people that are watching are not just flicking through the channels, but are actively engaged with the promotion. And they will come back. If you sign AEW and renew us, these are your viewing numbers, which are the most important. These are your viewing numbers. But look, these are the numbers we're doing. These are the tickets we're selling. This is the merch we're selling. So you can renew with confidence that we are going to be able to continue to deliver these numbers. Might be a count out here. 9, and Dax gets back in. There was almost a count out. So I would say that it helps, but I can't say that it's a deal breaker. He's going for a sharpshooter, Adam Cole, and he gets it. Sharpshooter on Dax in the middle of the ring. Dax trying to get over to the ropes, and he's getting dragged back into the middle of the ring. Center of the ring. And taps. Dax taps. Dax taps. And Adam Cole, baby, progresses. Good match. Really good match. Why do you think Raw's rating have been sinking? I feel like the pandemic brought Raw to new lows and they've avoided below 1.4. I think they were just sinking anyway, to be honest. I don't know that the pandemic dropped them to those lows. I think they were dropping anyway. If anything, would you not think the pandemic would get their viewership up? Because if everyone's locked at home, then, you know, whatever's on TV is sure to get a boost, you would think, I would think. It didn't really show itself that way. But to be honest, I just think that the world is consuming things in a totally different way. I mean, I'm consuming things in a totally different way. I used to watch TV shows once a week, every week. If there was a show that I loved, you used to have to remember that it was on. I mean, when I was young, I might set a video player, a video recorder. But honestly, I would say since, I don't know, 20-odd years plus, not used a video recorder. And I haven't replaced it with a DVR. So the great thing is if you miss a show now, you don't really need a DVR. Most channels have some sort of a catch-up service. So you don't need a DVR. If you haven't watched it, the show, you can find it, can't you? It's out there somewhere. It'd be strange for a show to be on TV, you miss it, and then you just can never find it again. That's just not... It's not really the world we live in, is it? So, yeah, I think that they were in decline anyway because of that. People are watching things a different way. I mean, actually, if you go back and look at, as we said, look at the viewership for Raw for 2015, compare it to 2017, compare it to 2019, compare it to 2021, you'll see that gradual decline. It's not like everything was great and then boom. It's been in that gradual decline for quite a while. Here's Hangman. Raw used to get 3.5 million views in 2015. How much would it cost for you to procure the rights to AEW on this channel? It would really help push it forwards. That is true, actually. I think that would be a really good way of bringing growth to the channel. Have to think about it. CM Punk, the best in the world. CM Punk making his way out. He's going to be taking on John Silver. Poor John. Always in second place. If you love WCW, love WWF, tune into WWE and wrestling in general. With the sadness of deaths throughout the world, AEW should be no different. It's about passion. We took a turn there that I was not expecting. Let's go Silver, says Lone Star Friends. Clubber in time. CM Punk making his way down to the ring. Why did they stop his music? CM Punk boos for CM Punk. Is that a rival shirt that he's wearing? I don't know. When they do the whole sports team thing, I have no idea. If Triple H took over creative before 2017, the way he was running NXT was great. Would it have slowed down the decline? I don't think so. It's hard to say, but I don't think so. Because he was booking NXT when it was going up against AEW and it was getting spanked in the ratings every week. AEW was beating NXT. There's lots of reasons for it. But the same guy that was booking it in 2017 was booking it in 2019, was booking it in 2020, and he got a spanking. He got a spanked bottom by Tony Khan. Let's go Cutie Silver. This could be match of the night. Silver's really good. I agree. Hustle for Love said, I was explaining it to someone who said wrestling sucks. Oh, I didn't see anyone say wrestling sucks. Silver driven back into the corner. We are underway then with CM Punk versus John Silver. I hate when they cut the music off like that. I don't know why they did, to be honest. NXT has beaten AEW as well. Not many times, dude. Not many times. I think, honestly, I might be remembering this wrong, but it was once or twice. He said AEW sucks, not that wrestling sucks. Guys, settle down. We've all had a drink. Let's just agree everything sucks. Yeah, let's just agree. AEW sucks. WWE sucks. Impact sucks. MLW sucks. New Japan sucks. Pro Wrestling sucks. I don't know why, as a community, we don't just go that way. Why don't we just go the way that everything sucks? That way, there'd be no arguments, would there? I keep forgetting to pre-order the AEW and match figure, says J14. J14, I hope you are well. Send my love to your brother, J13. Tommy said, it's sad AEW main show is bragging about beating NXT. Which superstar do you want AEW to get? I like Karrion Kross. Yeah, Karrion Kross is cool. I don't mind. I think they've got enough, to be honest. I think it would be interesting if Bray came in. I think if Bray came in, that would be interesting. I can't really say. I mean, I like Ember Moon. There's people that I want to see like get a job, like Ember Moon. I think, I don't want to see her out of wrestling. But I don't think they really need anyone. They just need some really good stories. Picture in picture. Punk really messed up this time. Didn't say nothing wrong. Pretty much was giving them a tip. Primus suck. Yeah. WWE won't get back to 3.5 million with the McMuffins as owners. Unfortunately, that won't change. What about Cesaro? Well, I really like Cesaro. I don't mind him coming in. I can't say that I'm personally desperate for it, though. Because he isn't a great promo. I think that he would need someone to do the talking for him. But I really like it. I've met him. And he was so lovely. And I know that doesn't make any difference whatsoever. But I think if you actually meet someone and they are genuinely lovely and you genuinely go, my God, like, he was just couldn't have done any more, couldn't have been nicer. It was just so nice. And I got to spend just a bit of time with him. I spent about 25 minutes or so with him, half an hour, because it was a sign-in at a store. And once that had finished, I had the opportunity to, like, do a quick interview with him. And I did it in front of the toy section. And then he was kind enough to just do a really quick few-minute, like, toy hunt where we were in front of the section. He'd have a look and he'd pick out a few figures that he liked the look of and talk about them. And he was great. He was great. So I wish him all the best. I hope he gets a job. And you know, if he comes to AEW, I don't have an issue with that. As I said, I really like him. In-ring is amazing. But I just think we all know what the problem is. He can't promo. Some people can't. Some people can't get their emotions across or don't have that kind of charisma, that big personality. Philosophically speaking, if all wrestling fans left and replacement fans came from other planets with no preconceptions or historical knowledge, who is the king franchise? I don't know, because I don't know what they would be into. These new people. Would they like the AEW style? Would they like the WWE style? Would they like sports entertainment? Would they like pro wrestling? Would they like New Japan? I don't know. All wrestling sucks. Yeah! Honestly, that's how we bring harmony to the IWC. We just agree that all wrestling sucks. So if someone from WWE comes over and goes, AEW sucks, we go, mm-hmm. And then if we jump over there and go, WWE sucks, then they go, mm-hmm. Or if we go over to Impact and say Impact sucks, all the fans go, mm-hmm. If we all just agree everything sucks, there's no arguments in the world then. Kicks coming in. I mean, it would also work if we agreed everything was great, but that's never happening, is it? CM Punk gets a shoulder up. Love Silver's kicks, says Lone Star Friend. They were very good, and he almost got a 3 count. Hello, Ledger Killer. Hope you are well. Primo said, did Randy not have a part-time deal in WWE before Arcade Brokers? Now we see him every week. He's had a few different deals. He's come and gone, and you know he's not been full-time all the time for 20-odd years. Some of that is injuries as well, of course, but oh, Silver getting caught a little bit on the ropes into a tornado DDT. 1, 2. Kick out. Kick out, guys. Kick out. William said no days because someone would say it doesn't suck. We suck for saying that it sucks. Yes, but it only works if everyone agrees, William. That's my point. That's my whole point. I can't believe Bray was getting $4 million from WWE. I'm not sure if that includes merchandise, but would AEW pay $4 million? I don't think they would, and that could be the stumbling block. Ryback has burnt his bridges. He couldn't pass the wellness test anyway, says Jeremy. Charging over CM Punk. Big knee strike going into John Silver. Clothesline and John Silver goes down. CM Punk showing off the guns. Showing off the guns. Against the ropes goes Silver. Nice kick there by CM Punk. A leg lariat by CM Punk. Punk on the edge of the ring. I have no idea what they're chanting. He's going for buckshot lariat. Gets it. CM Punk gets the buckshot lariat. And gets the win with it. Sends a message to Hangman Adam Page that I can do your moves just as good as you. Hangman making his way down to the ring. CM Punk in the ring. Hangman getting into the ring. These two face to face. It sounds like you're taking this a little personal. CM Punk said it's not personal. It's just business. This is a better way to present Punk. I feel like I'm watching a proper Punk wrestling storyline more than, oh, you're an old man, welcome back type thing. This feels like it's not about his age and can he keep up anymore. This morning I woke up and asked myself, are you the champ? And my answer was yes. What I just did to your boy is a blueprint of what I'm going to do to you. Do you think Kenny could make a debut in WWE? I'm not expecting one. He's had multiple opportunities to do it, and he's always turned it down, so I'm not expecting it to happen. Anita Wes, shout out to you. The Wep views today have absolutely shot up. I did notice that. Big thank you to everyone that's joined our Tuesday night Wep Wrestling Escape Pods. It's on 913 views. 913 views. It's one of the most viewed Weps of the year. It's shooting up. It's doing really, really well. So, I don't know what's happening there. But big thank you to everyone that watched the Wrestling Escape Pods. Primo says, WWE's tag division is filled with thrown together single stars. If you're an AEW tag team lost in the shuffle, is it risky going to WWE since Vince doesn't like real tag teams? Well, he doesn't like real tag teams, in all fairness. I think, look, if you go to WWE, it's a risk full stop. We're backstage with Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter, Reba, Danhausen. Danhausen coming out. Danhausen versus Tony Nese, isn't it? Danhausen, very nice, very evil as he's waving. He's got a cape on. Tony Nese is already in the ring. Big cheer for Danhausen. Here's the premium athlete, Tony Nese. CM316 said it's Danhausen's AEW ring debut. Jilly said, Wrestling Escape Pod was good. Since finding the community and really enjoyed the content, I can't miss that wep, says Jilly. Jilly, really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Here we go. We are underway then. Danhausen, Tony Nese. Tony Nese showing off the guns. Danhausen was going to put a spell on Tony Nese. Tony Nese attacks him. 1, 2, 3. Tony Nese wins. Tony Nese has beaten Danhausen. I think it's probably fair to say that Danhausen isn't quite cleared. Was you shocked? This guy got an entrance and you didn't? He's going to beat him. Then we're going to get Hook. Running knee by Tony. Well, he broke his leg, didn't he? So I'm guessing he's just not really ready. The knee is being exposed. And here's Hook. Hook making his way down. The cold-hearted handsome devil. The cold-hearted handsome devil. I want that on my gravestone. I would like AEW need to get John Morrison, says Davids. Greatest debut ever, says Venom. Danhausen and Hook in the ring. I'm glad they mentioned that Tony Nese didn't get an entrance. He's 16-2, damn it. Danhausen sticks his hand out. Hook shakes the hand. Big pop by the crowd as Hookhausen becomes a thing. Coming up next, the contract sign-in between MJF. That should be good. MJF and Wardlow. Jeremy said Hook is so over, it is crazy. I wouldn't mind AEW picking up Apollo Crews. Was he released? I think he's still there, isn't he? I think he's still there. That was horribly done. Is he still there? You're making me question. I haven't seen him in forever. Apollo Crews. Currently signed to WWE. Yeah, where is he? Where are you, Apollo? Where are you? Do you feel sometimes the AEW crowds need to tone it down with all the crazy chants? A lot of matches on the card 5 minutes in and we're already getting this is awesome. I don't know, to be honest. I think they are there to have a good time. And they are in a very different mindset. Like, I don't know how they do it. I don't know if it's just the crowd. I don't know if the crowd are just so into the product that, you know, I do think AEW do a really good job of giving the fans what they want to see. For example, I think a lot of WWE fans would like to see Liv Morgan getting a really, really big push. Getting, like, you know, there's a lot of support for Liv. There's a lot of support for Alexa. These are the people that, you know, they would like to see getting pushed. And it just hasn't really been that way. She did get a title opportunity at the start of the year. But I mean, she might be about to go into a program now, but I think we can look at Liv Morgan's recent history and say she has not been used to her full potential. If she was in AEW and the crowd wanted it, Tony would book it and he would give it to them. So maybe it's that gets the crowd so worked up. And I think if you go in with that mindset that you're so G'd up that you're like, you know, it's always such a big reaction when the show just starts. You know, they seem to be like really, you know, quite into the show. So it ain't going to take all that much for them to be like, this is awesome, because they're already pretty much at this is awesome when the show starts, which is very different from like a WWE crowd that, you know, just go really just to... I feel like AEW crowds go because they know they're going to go and get, you know, stuff they want. I feel that WWE crowds go maybe just to see the wrestlers. Maybe it's not so much about getting what you want, but it's about seeing the wrestlers compete and seeing your favorite, you know, kids wanting to see Sasha, kids wanting to see Finn Balor or whoever, Roman Reigns. And I feel like that's a bit of a difference between them. So, I don't know. Could they tone it down? They could tone it down. But I think it's I read it more that they're just so into it that it really doesn't take that much more to get them to the this is awesome. I don't think they're doing it because they're trying to lie or they're trying to convince themselves it's awesome. I think they genuinely are just in such a higher state of consciousness type thing that they're right there, and it doesn't take them that long to get to it. Dark side of the ring. Very good. Very good. They know their audience and they play to it. We've got a Dark Side of the Ring trailer, but it's referring to and they've got Jericho doing the voiceover just like Dark Side. It's good. They know their audience, man. They know their audience. Jake Roberts, the snake guy. This is funny. Man, I'd flipping love it if they had a Jim Cornette lookalike. Imagine if they had a Jim Cornette lookalike that was just like talking nonsense. Barry Horowitz. Wrestler Danny said, do you prefer Coke or Pepsi? Normally I would have said Coke, but I'm having a Coke for the first time, but it's got nothing on Pepsi. I think you become I think you get the taste for what you normally have, but to be honest, I'm a water guy. I'm a water and juice guy now. It's got the music on us, everything. It's really good. Very good. Dark Side skit was awesome. I agree. Barry Horowitz. Barry Horowitz still wrestles. Here's Jeff. Jeff Dippa-Dappa. Jeff Dippa-Dappa. Lots of MJF scarves in the crowd. MJF and Wardlow. They're gonna have to have him sign whilst being handcuffed. I don't eat meat anymore, but I know I prefer kebab meat over pork. Well, I know that I prefer Coke over Pepsi, but I can't say that it's a fierce loyalty that I have, because we just always had Coke in the house. We didn't really ever have Pepsi. I don't know why. I can't answer as to why. In fact, I'm lying. When we were young, we didn't even have Coke in the house. We had the cheap stuff. You know, the own brand supermarket stuff. We didn't even have proper Coke in the house. What's your thoughts on the Ring of Honor logo? I haven't seen it, James. I haven't seen it. New ROH logo. New ROH. Oh, Jesus. Logo. Looks a bit 1950s. Is it that one that's like that thing? New logo revealed for ROH. Don't grab me. MJF. Yeah, it is. I don't hate it. It don't grab me. Filings aren't black and white, so colours could be different. Filings aren't in black and white, so the colours could be different. Oh, right, so that might not be the final colours. I suppose you could always change the colours, couldn't you, and play around with it. Hollywood Guy, hello, my friend. Big shout out to you. Really appreciate the support. Hollywood Guy said, what's up, Days? What do you think of Roman leaving for 10 weeks or so? WWE doesn't have a heavyweight champion, so that means IC and US belts need a push. Could mean that. Yep, it could mean that Roman drops the title as well. I would hope not. But if he doesn't drop the titles, then he's not going to be able to... They won't get defended, will they, for 10 weeks? Which is strange. So I don't know. I don't know if he forfeits them. I don't know if he loses them. I don't know if he gets cashed in on. There's definitely some things they can do. It is interesting. 10 weeks. Can he go 10 weeks whilst keeping the belts? MJF says, when Wardlow starts to speak, I don't want you guys getting up out your seats and booing him out the building. He's playing to this crowd. He's winking to him. The last thing I want you to do is create the loudest boo in the history of professional wrestling. Wardlow, the floor is yours. And it's a pretty loud boo. Wardlow went to talk, but he couldn't. Yeah, so Hollywood Guy, I'm thinking, I'm hoping they leave it on him, but there'll be a lot of people that will want him to defend it. Not just hold it ransom for 10 weeks. Why don't they create a tournament that lasts 10 weeks and then culminates in a fight with Roman? You could have a Champions League style program until he returns. Yeah, but can you get away with actually not defending it for 10 weeks? I mean, yes, if you name Shinsuke Nakamura or Brock Lesnar. But it's quite a long time, innit? I mean, they tend to say 30 days. Well, this is well over that. It's over double, 2.5. You see, the more that he talks, I mean, like, MJF says there about, like, going to WWE. He's doing this. He's doing this to, He's doing this to, like, trend. To be spoken about. Which you can't blame him. That's what this is about, innit? Leave the memories alone. Select Cola from Safeway. 10. We get a 10 from Sean Spears. 10, 10, 10. Wardlow's laughing because MJF said he's going to have to face Sean Spears in a solid steel cage. It's not any cage. Oh, special guest referee. MJF's going to be the special guest referee in this cage match. Do you think Cody should have won the US title? Nah. I think it's alright that he didn't because his sights are set on the WWE. And I feel like the US is probably going to hopefully help Theory. I think it helps Theory more than it does anything for Cody right now, so... I'm better than you, and you know it. Wardlow signing the contract. Trying to anyway, because he's got his hands handcuffed. Just sign it. MJF says, take the cuffs off him so that he can sign it. Wardlow's waiting for these cuffs to be removed. He's really struggling here, this guy. Finally does it. Wardlow signing the contract. Puts his hands out to put the cuffs back on. Smacks the first security guard into the table. Flips the table over. Takes out about 7 of the security guards. MJF's in the corner. Sean Spears is protecting him. Wardlow throwing some big right hands. Everyone going down. Well, of course, love wrestling. This isn't going to end well, said Wrestling Regal. Poor gods, says Hustle for Love. MJF trying to get out the ring, and Wardlow has grabbed him. This is the worst idea I've ever had, but you could put the belt on a line in a different board game every week. Completely agree. That absolutely is the worst idea you've ever had. Wardlow with the table. You think MJF is a heel in AEW? Tony Khan loves it, but if you're Vince, would you want him heel or face? He could do anything, can't he? I mean, he comes across as a natural heel. So I think you'd look to keep him heel, to be honest, but... It's just a really good charismatic talker. Really good. The chair was dangerously close to Mark's head, says Jordan. Right, Ricky Starks, Jungle Boy, coming up next. It would be cool for Wardlow to come to WWE. They want him. Yeah, they want him. William says, I just want to see Daze's reaction to everyone scoring it a 6. Well, I know now, William. You've let the cat out the bag, William. Oh, jeez, William. I've seen it now, mate. God damn. MJF has the promo. I rarely see him wrestle. Heather said, I can't believe MJF name dropped Cody and used almost the exact same stipulations. Planet Dan ASMR said, I read that the time off is that he's not doing house shows, but he'll do weekly shows and pay-per-views. Oh, I haven't seen that. That's interesting. Reese said, so Roman won't be at SummerSlam. Does that mean he loses to Drew? I don't know. The reports that I've seen is that he's going away for 10 weeks, but if you're telling me that you've seen stuff saying that he will still do pay-per-view shows, I think that's very, very interesting. Very interesting. William says, flip. Right, let's all go 7. It's not actually 10 weeks. They've scheduled it so that he's on both of the premium live events before and after his time off. And then there's nothing between, so it's unlikely that he vacates the title. I hope he doesn't, to be honest. I hope he doesn't. But I can understand people being a bit annoyed if he goes away for, weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and there's no title defense. But listen, Brock did it. Matt said, why the fudge? Why the fudge are we talking about Roman? William said, damn it, Days, stop reading my comments. William, I always read your comments. I always read them. Just very, very rarely out loud. Very, very rarely. Lee said, I believe Meltzer reported Roman will be on SummerSlam. Zachary said, William, let's go 8s. William, Zachary wants to go to 8s now, mate. William's dropping an 8 in the chat. We are at commercial break. You can put in your halftime score. We were not quite there, so I wasn't going to do it, but might as well. Because the next one's probably going to be in about 10 minutes, innit? Days can't see this comment. No. Justin with an 8. Edge's new haircut on last week's Friday Night SmackDown was the same cut I give my dog. Samoa Joseph. We've got Samoa Joseph here. William, you are so funny that I'm going to start calling you Silly Willy. Don't give him ideas. 9. Did Danhausen win? No. Doppelganger says 8. Justin says, hey, Trini. Heather says 775. Lee with a 7. J14 with a 7. Let him in says 7. Dylan with an 8. David said my halftime score's 5.5. Sapphire King says, how are you, William? Boomers says 3.7. Anna, heel doors, 6.5. Luke says 8. Brendan said 9.7. Kaysen said Roman should break Bruno's records. Yeah. 7 years. Edge has the same haircut as Rhea. Is Damien next? God, I hope so. I hope so. I'd love to see all 3 of them with matching haircuts. Right, here is Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy versus, I can't remember. Jungle Boy, Jungle Boy, Jungle Boy. Na 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 na. That dark side of the ring thing was very, very good. Very, very good. Jungle Boy versus Ricky Starks. That's the match. That's the match. Do you think Elon Musk would buy WWE or AEW? No. AEW crowd pops for so many people. WWE only pop for Roman and Cody, really. Bruno is first with the record, then Hogan, then Cena, then Roman. David said the squash match lowered my score. Dork Knight said, I want to be the first person to ever block the host in a stream, and then he can't read my ludicrous and outlandish messages. James said, not a chance. Bruno's reign is only that long as how wrestling was back then. That world does not exist anymore. John says 7.11 stips out of 10. Toby, hello, mate. Hope you're well. Reese said, I'm disappointed you didn't do the halftime song. To be honest, I didn't even know that we were at halftime. It was just a little bit before what would have been halftime. So I kind of lazily was like, yeah, put your scores in, do it. Plus also, William was causing havoc with trying to get you to give 6s, 7s, and 8s, and so I don't even know what scores I can trust anymore. So William still managed to bring absolute carnage to the halftime scores. So I hope he's proud. I hope he's proud of himself. Damon Kemp is part of Diamond Mine. He joined last night. I have no idea who Damon Kemp is. Not a clue. I don't think he was even on the show when I was watching it. I don't know who Damon Kemp is. But I wish him nothing but happiness. Ricky Starks is an absolute star. Not gonna lie, NWA lost out on him, says Heather. Liz Jericho said, did I miss anything exciting in the first half? I think there was some exciting things, but I don't know if there was anything essential. Was there anything essential? It's not like we had the arrival of anyone or shock, someone returned. We just had some good matches and a fun MJF segment. Who do you think is the better champion? Longevity and reigns, no pun intended. Who is the better champion? It's probably got to be Stone Cold, hasn't it? It's probably got to be Stone Cold because Stone Cold made more money than any other champion. Vince said that, I think, during his induction speech. Stone Cold Steve Austin made WWE more money than anyone else in its history. I've got to imagine that's probably still true to this day. I mean, the Attitude Era was just a different beast than where we are even now with modern pro wrestling. So I feel like Stone Cold's is probably at the top. But the Attitude Era is I'm not crazy about it because there was loads of great stuff, but there was loads of bad stuff as well. For me personally, I probably enjoy Bruno. I really like Bruno because I've said before, he was a champion before like WrestleMania, and I just love kind of looking back and shining a light in the history of WWE before WrestleMania, because anyone can go back to the WrestleManias and watch, what was happening, but it's so hard to go back to the 60s and watch what was happening. A lot of it, wasn't taped. And those that were, some of the tapes, I have no idea where they are. Championship Wrestling was a show that Capitol did, and I don't know where those tapes are either. They never made it onto the network. There's a lot of stuff that's missing off the network and from those eras. But Bruno was dominant and he was loved. And the reason why he stayed champion is the people wanted him to be champion. Imagine that. He was champion for 7 years. And people wanted him to be champion. There was silence when he lost the belt to Ivan Koloff. And they couldn't give Koloff the belt. When Koloff beats Sammartino, they don't give him the belt because they were worried there would be a riot. In I think it was Madison Square Garden. In Madison Square Garden, they were worried the fans were going to riot. And you can actually see that moment. That moment's out there, where Bruno finally loses the title, and it's just quiet. People are shocked. It's amazing, isn't it? 7 years. And isn't it not... Do you not think it's even more amazing that all of this happened so far away from WrestleMania? Like, so far away. Yeah, like a decade. Over a decade and a half-ish. Around that ballpark. Could even go 2 decades before WrestleMania is when he was in his reign. Like, I just think it's really interesting. So for me personally, I'm really interested in Bruno. I feel, because I haven't seen loads, I feel like there's more to explore. But I think the most successful would be Stone Cold and the Attitude Era. But I mean, Hogan was big as well. Of course he was. Hulkamania. Might have that as, like, maybe second. Stone Cold at 1, Hogan at 2. I don't know if you'd go maybe Cena at 3, Roman at 4. Bruno at 5, if you want to go in with success. How much money they made. I mean, there just wasn't the merch opportunities for Bruno, was there? So there's a lot of money that wasn't there. There's no TV deals and stuff like this, so... Damon Kemp is Gable Stevenson's brother. Oh, have they changed his name? I don't remember them calling him Damon Kemp. When, I'm sure he wrestled under the Stevenson name before. How long do you want Roman to keep the belt? I want him to hit 1,000 days. That's what I would like. I just think that is one of the all-time... no one has held the title for 1,000 days since Hogan did it between 84 and 88. No one's done it since then. So if he was to do it now, and I've said before, people love witnessing history. People love witnessing something that will stand the test of time. I genuinely think this title reign will be a marker. This will stand the test of time. Because no one's done it since 84, 88. So I think we are witnessing something quite special. It's not the longest reign, but it's a definite marker. When you're telling the history of WWE, you're going to talk about Roman and you're going to talk about this title reign. Jungle Boy charging over to Ricky Starks. Top rope enziguri. I only liked Hogan as a heel. His face run drove me to WCW and AEW, says Doppelganger. That's really interesting. That's really interesting. I grew up watching Bruno, staying up late on a Saturday night to watch him wrestle. That's what got me hooked on wrestling, says Wrestling Regal. That is beyond cool. Beyond cool. I'm jealous of that. Again, a lot of that stuff that you've watched, I just don't know where it is. It's not easy to find on that. There's not tons on the network that you can enjoy from, like, the 60s. But I know there were shows, that were going out. But, because they had that market, they had the New York area. So I've got to be thinking that them shows going onto TV, but I don't know where they are. I don't know if they're just lost to, the annals of history or whatever, but... Lovely. 1, 2... 2 count there for Jungle Boy. Bridges up. Jungle Boy up on the shoulders of Ricky Starks. Nice counter. Jaden said, whatever happened to Brian Cage? Really good question. I mean, to my knowledge, he hasn't left. I don't know if he's injured or anything, but I know that he was very unhappy with how they were booking him. Let's have a look. Brian Cage. See if there's any news. Brian Cage clarifies circumstances around AEW Impact. Cage. Starks gets a 2. Reported to have signed with AEW in January, right as his Impact contract expired. He's just talking about how he signed with AEW. No, nothing. No news. The last news that's on there is an interview he did where he talks about how WWE said he was average. Jungle Boy has got Ricky Starks. What's mad is they could make Roman lose the title on the 1,000th day, as the 1,000th day is Sunday 28th of May 2023. Stan Hansen injured Sammartino and got a lot of heat from it. Yes. Did he break his back? break his neck. Brian Cage is in catering. Swerve's coming down. Swerve has come running down to the ring, gets into the face of Ricky Starks. Look, Swerve's trying to tell the ref to get in there and start counting. Ricky Starks attacking Jungle Boy from behind. Double underhooks. He's got Jungle Boy up. Plants him down. 1, 2, 3. Ricky Starks wins. Ricky Starks wins. Long Beach Hippie said, AWA got me into wrestling. Greg Gagne versus Kurt Hennig. An hour-long match and the debut in Road Warriors. Scott Hall, Zbyszko, Rashki, the Garvins. I must admit, I haven't watched much AWA. I've seen a couple of episodes, couple of things. To be honest, I don't tend to follow the storylines that they're telling. It is just more like, oh my god, there's Sergeant Slaughter. Or, do you know what I mean? Like, as you said, they had loads of stars in there that went on to WWE. They had a line of figures as well. So they're always fun. They had the Rockers in AWA. I'm sure, because I'm sure there's figures of them. And I think they might. I don't know if they even had Yokozuna at one point, but not under the Yokozuna name. He might have, because that might have been the last thing I watched. I'm going to double check that. I don't want to say Yokozuna was in AEW, AWA if I'm not right. He was in AEW. He was in, oh my god, I keep saying AEW. His first major exposure in the United States came in AWA as Coquina Maximus. So I think the last thing I saw was I watched a clip of him as Coquina Maximus. So I've seen bits. Just couldn't survive, could it? Pretty sure Cage was on a Ring of Honor pay-per-view, and Tully is his new manager, says Dean. Oh. We've got Luchasaurus has come down. Christian has come down. Jungle Boy looks sad. I don't know what's happening. A disappointed Jungle Boy. Christian's going over to Jungle Boy. Come on, bring it in. Bring it in. Gives Jungle Boy a hug. He's still disappointed. The hug hasn't helped. That hug has not helped. Breaking news, guys. The hug didn't help. Jericho Appreciation Society, their victory speech. Their victory speech is coming up next. Coming up next. Even if the man doesn't wrestle for 10 weeks, you want him to have 1,000 days. Whatever, says Erase Your Mind. I want him to get to 1,000 days. What are your thoughts about the Bob Backlund era? Do you know what? Really interesting. Really interesting because I've been listening to Jim Cornette talk about the Bob Backlund era. I mean, I do listen to Jim Cornette, so really, his knowledge of history, because he's, a passionate collector he's a wrestling historian. He collects the history of wrestling. If you've seen, his collection, it's insane. So, some of the stuff you can learn by listening to him. And he was saying that when Superstar had the belt, they knew they needed to move to they wanted to move to an American boy. They wanted to move to someone that was American. And they were trying to find out who it should be, and Superstar had the belt, but it wasn't a long-term option. And so they decided to go with Bob Backlund, because Bob Backlund was the All-American boy. He was really likable. He was a face. The crowds seemed to like him, and he was a legit, proper wrestler. He could shoot as well. He could really work, and the crowds appreciated that. But the thing was, he lacked... I mean, he doesn't lack personality, but he just lacks a bit of charisma. And what would have helped him would have been a heel turn. But he refused to turn heel. He wouldn't do it. And he ended up dropping the belt to the Iron Sheik and them going in a different direction, because he was a stale champion. He had the belt for like 4 years, I think. He is one of the longest reigning champions. But he had the belt for like 4 years, and he was stale. He refused to turn heel. He wouldn't do it. He didn't want to let the kids down. And so they ended up going with a different direction. And at that point, my understanding is, if they couldn't get Hulk Hogan, they were going to try and get Dusty Rhodes. And Dusty Rhodes was going to be the man. And he was going to be the guy. But it was only ever backup. He was never the original plan. The original plan was Hulk Hogan. And so they brought in Hogan. And Backlund dropped the belt to the Iron Sheik. Hogan wins it from the Sheik not long after, and Hulkamania is born. So it sort of feels like Bob Backlund is maybe the failed American, All-American. He's maybe the failed Hulk Hogan, but he was never meant to be Hulk Hogan, but that kind of All-American boy, which Hogan definitely represented. Yeah, just without the size, without the charisma, but with, really good wrestling technique. And he just, I think he had the crowds. I don't know if he ever had the crowds going crazy, but it definitely did go stale. And when they tried to get him to go heel, he wouldn't do it. And then he came back years later, and he agreed to go heel. And that was a really interesting run, actually, when he came back in the 90s. So, listen, I love Bob Backlund. I love Bob Backlund. I love him from his 90s run, though. Not from when he was champion. But, I remember when he used to put on the chicken wing, crossface chicken wing. And then, when he did it, he used to look at his hands, and he'd be like this crazed, dare I say, old man. He seemed like an old man, but I think he was only in his 40s. Probably the same age of AJ Styles is now, but... he'd put that chicken wing on, and then he'd, look at his hands. I used to find him a very interesting wrestler when I was young. Something a bit different. Not Jericho. It is Jericho. It is the Jericho Appreciation Society. Right, here we go. They're celebrating. Eric said, I taught my son the crossface chicken wing to take out bullies. He's 8 years old. Crowds are singing Judas. Zoom Station said his 90s run was amazing. Bob was big with the fans. It worked then, but it was a change in times in wrestling collided, says Wrestling Regal. I can't remember their names. Okay, so this one guy, I can't remember his name, says, I love the fact I get to be a part of the greatest faction in the world. The Jericho Appreciation Society. And Jericho takes over the mic. Jericho said he was born down the road. But I moved away pretty damn quickly because this place is a dump. You know it sucks. I'll throw a fireball in your face because I'm a wizard. The Wizard, Chris Jericho. The Wizard. Jericho, the Wizard. Wizard fireballs. Did I mention how much I hate this new Jericho gimmick? I feel like he could be more wizardy, to be honest. I feel like there's a lack of wizardness in his costume. He's a wizard, Harry. He says you need to stay home and look after your wife, and if she doesn't, get her to give me a call. Is he a doctor now? I thought he was a wizard. Okay, here is... Is that Moxley? Moxley! Well, I wasn't expecting this. Have we got a Blackpool Combat Club situation here? Jericho needs a wizard hat. John Moxley bumping into security. Dr. Wizard. Oh, he's a Dr. Wizard. Never was a big Jericho fan. I did like his debut in WWE, though, says Fortnite. Okay, so Moxley making his way out. I'm guessing Blackpool Combat Club are going to be coming with him. He's not in a rush to get to the ring. He's just sort of standing around him with the people. Moxley making his way through crowd of people. Moxley. Chris Jericho needs back brace for carrying AEW mid-carders on his shoulders, says Kai and Tai. Moxley should not have the same song from the Major League movies, says Larry. I'll give you one chance to turn around. Get the hell out of here. There's one of you, 5 of us. Here's Danielson. Danielson's coming out, as is Regal. Regal could get in there and stretch them all on his own. Regal, Danielson, Yuta. The Blackpool Combat Club. Still outnumbered, but... I like how Jericho says 4 of you. I would be surprised if Regal was to throw hands. Eddie Kingston's there, as are Santana and Ortiz. This is now definitely a problem. So we've got Eddie Kingston, Santana, Ortiz, Moxley. You effed up is the chant. Danielson, it's 6 on 5. 6 on 5. We've got Jericho Appreciation Society being. Oh look, Regal's trying to get Regal's Whoa! Regal! Regal! Yes! Regal delivers a shot and Jericho goes down. That was nice. That was nice. Right hand. Right hand by Regal. Regal right hand. Did you see anyone else making the AEW WWE jump? I think there's definitely potential for MJF, but I think he's playing it up for storyline to get people talking about him. Talking about him, talking about AEW. It wouldn't surprise me if he gets 2024 and he just re-signs with AEW. It really wouldn't surprise me. But you got to say there's potential there. I know they're interested in Wardlow, so there's potential there. Yeah, I mean, definitely, I think, like, they'd be interested in Sammy. I think they'd be interested in Darby. I don't know if they're, like, desperate for anyone, but I think they would definitely like Wardlow. I think they would definitely like to take Wardlow. Let's go Regal. Regal versus on left hand strikes only. Book it. Double or nothing. Thunder Rosa against Serena Deeb. Coming up tonight, we got Darby Allin and Jeff Hardy. That's coming up tonight. There's only half an hour left. Tony Storm, Jamie Hayter next. I'm looking forward to this. Came here just to say, damn, William Regal, says Lance. Kind Ty said, I enjoyed how MJF said the American roller coaster. I was dying. Here is Jamie Hayter. Go on, Regal. Go on. Go on, mate. Jamie Hayter. So, Jamie Hayter taking on Toni Storm. We have the WWE Universe and the AEW Galaxy. Lee said it's going to be a packed 30 minutes. Tony versus Jamie, Battle of the Bum, says Esteban. Reese said, crazy to think Thunder Rosa used to wrestle on GTS. Did she wrestle on it regular? I know that she was on it, but I didn't realize she was on it regular. Here's Toni Storm. Toni Storm making her way down. To the ring. She looks cool. I think this will be a good match. This is one that stood out to me earlier. Jamie Hayter is hot, says Retribution. She is like so hot. Right. This should be good. As I said, these two might have faced each other in Japan. I'm really not sure. But either way, I would expect them to have good chemistry. Good chemistry. Hustle for Love, shout out to you. Appreciate the support. Hope everyone's enjoying AEW Dynamite tonight as nice side headlock here by Jamie Hayter. James said, I watch AEW to escape, not for them to take everyone's TV time. AEW has so much talent, ones that have never been seen. Ace Jordan said, we love Toni Storm's eyes. Great eyes. I mean, I've seen her eyes. I can't say that it's... Are they significant, her eyes? I don't know. I don't know anymore. I don't know. Sure, let's say they are. Let's say they are. Straight to the midsection by Jamie Hayter. Jamie Hayter goes back to the corner. Hustle for love. Jamie said Toni is on way better shape than when she was in WWE. Toni backing up a little bit as Jamie edging forwards. This is quite technical, and they're linking up, looking for old school test of strength, man. Nice, looking for a trip. Good showcase for Jamie Hayter, this is. Storm almost going down and does get knocked down. Shoulder up. One. Shoulder up. Bridges up. Straight to the midsection by Jamie Hayter. Jamie goes down. Drop kick by Toni Storm. Has anything decent happened on Dynamite? I was fast asleep and dreaming of Trish Stratus. It's not a bad way to spend a Wednesday evening, is it, in all fairness? Has Jade been on? She hasn't, no. I think we need to restart the Ice Bucket Challenge. I nominate Retribution. Do we, though? Do we? Who have you got? I think it'll be Toni Storm. I'd be surprised if Toni Storm doesn't progress. Jamie on the outside. Lovely little snap suplex there. None of us love that booty. It's like unnoticeable. Her personality is the one. That's what I look for. My favourite part of Toni Storm is the black line that she puts here. That's my favourite part of Toni Storm. AEW is bringing in new talent. You can see with this women's match, says Hustle for Love. Who do you want to win, Darby or Jeff? I want Darby because Jeff's a boomer. Boomer Jeff. Jeff Boomer Hardy, I call him. So I'm all about the future. Jamie coming over, grabbing Toni. Hurling her into the corner. And again. The thing missing in the women's division is silicone. I guess inflation has hurt every industry. Yeah, blame Russia, mate. It's driving up the cost of living and probably driving up the price of silicone as well. You're absolutely right. Kicks here by Toni. Dort Knight said 1,000 in the Roman calendar is M. So I predict Roman will lose his title to someone beginning with M. McMahon. Stephanie. I want Darby, but it's too obvious that Adam Cole is just winning it all, says James. Jeff is old enough to be your younger brother, says Esteban. Jim said, fun fact, Jeff Hardy is the only one in the tournament that's actually had a match with Owen Hart. That is a fun fact. That is a very... That gets that from me. That gets that from me. Right, we've got Jamie Hayter keeping Toni Storm down. AEW opted not to sign Mia Yim. She's back in Impact. We all agree Toni Storm's finisher needs to be the 369 without 3. 366? I didn't know Cody started with them. Yeah. Cody. Cody is going to win the title. You know when Cody does win the title, do you think they'll bring Brandy out to celebrate with him? I hope not. Nice forearm strike by Jamie Hayter, who collapses down in the corner. Toni Storm back on her feet. Jamie Hayter over in the corner. Toni Storm running over. Oof. Damn, man. She collided into her there. Nice. DDT as Jamie Hayter rolls out the ring. Toni Storm coming out after her, looking for a DDT on the outside. Getting it. Jamie down. JR just talking about the start time this Friday. Toni Storm going up top. Crossbody and a high crossbody as well. She kind of crossbodied her, like, on her shoulders. So, Jamie Hayter down. It's Toni Storm that's in control. Just keep Brandy behind the scenes and out of the spotlight. Yes. If we can all agree on that, that would be amazing. You know, it's bad when street-level weed dealers are raising their prices due to inflation. That is bad. I don't like Adam Cole, says James. Is there a chance for another season of Dark Side? I don't think so. Don't think so. They haven't renewed for another one. They could always do another one in the future, couldn't they? But I'm not expecting it. AEW should team up with OnlyFans and have an OnlyFans championship. Yeah. Forearm strikes. Oh, edge of the ring by Jamie Hayter. She gets back into the ring. That was nice. Bang. Driving the spine onto the hardest part of the ring. That was nice by Jamie Hayter. Headbutt. Suplex. Keeps a hold of her as well. Trying to get her up. Can't do it. Reversed. 1, 2. Going for clothesline. Backslide reversed. Little botchy. Little botchy, but saved by Toni Storm. It was a little bit botchy, but she had her and they were wobbling. She just managed to drop her down. Toni Storm wins an alright match. It was alright. Toni Storm will face either Dr. Britt Baker or a Joker. On the other side, Riho takes on Ruby Soho. On Rampage, we hear from Jade Cargill and the Baddies. We've got Scorpio Sky taking on Frankie Kazarian. Lance says, thanks for streaming. We all need more William Regal. Yes. Yes. Yes, Lance. Shout out to you, buds. Appreciate the support. We've got 20 minutes to go left of the show. It's gone quite quick, actually. But more William Regal. That's never going to be a bad thing, is it? It was a quick finish because the ref said, go home, go home. I only just realised that Martha Hart's in attendance. She is there. The Joker is Nia Jax. Yes, in every sense of the word. In every sense of the word. Right, we're backstage. Here is Frankie Kazarian. Here's Sammy and Ty. Oh my God, Jesus. Oh God. Do we even have to still show them? Did you see the message at the bottom of the screen? It said, Toni Storm likes films based on true stories and collected old timepieces. I wish it had. There we go. Right. Going back to things to look forward to on Friday. I hope it's Athena, says James. Ethan hates Kaz in kayfabe. Double or Nothing. We got some Double or Nothing. Oh, I didn't realise that was so soon. 29th of May. Hook and Danhausen are going to be taking on Tony. It's all so quick again. Jericho and Regal face-to-face confrontation on Dynamite. Kyle O'Reilly. Oh, AEW. They fixed this. It's not as quick as it used to be, but it's not as slow as it's been in recent weeks either. Like, I actually can't read it to you before it's disappeared. Wardlow must take 10 lashes. Adam Cole takes on the winner of Darby Allin versus Jeff Hardy. And coming up next, Darby Allin versus Jeff Hardy. Hook on the buy-in, but that dude's in the main show. The Joker is Trish Stratus. The Joker is Ryback. Ryback's the Joker. He's the Joker of wrestling. Darby Allin versus Jeff Hardy. Let's get the main event. Spotfest, says Alexis. The Joker is AJ Lee. The Joker is Lita. The Joker is Vince McMahon in a dress. The Joker is Linda McMahon. The Joker is Brooke Hogan. The Joker is Dixie Carter. Dixie Carter is the Joker. The Jokers are the Garganos. Triple H is going to show up. I was pretty drunk when I brought a hangover cure from Chael's YouTube sponsor. He wouldn't sell me expensive snake oil, would he? I'm sure it's very effective. I think Darby Allin wins. Doppelganger said, I'm the Joker. The Joker is Mae Young reincarnated. Listen, I'd watch that. Paige is the Joker. Hopefully everything is getting better. Oh, yeah, Sonny. Shout out to you. Sorry to hear of your setback. That's all it is, Sonny. That's all it is. It's a setback. Sometimes you got to take one step backwards to take 2 steps forwards. James said Dixie Carter was a joke. Sammy and Ty are heels. This notion that heels should be people you love to want to hate is dumb. Miz is the perfect heel. Sammy and Ty are perfect heels. AEW fans have got it backwards. Yeah, but I really hate Ty Conti. I'm not ashamed of that. So it makes me sad when she's on TV. Can't we just have a promotion where they're all faces? That's what I want. I want to be able to cheer for everyone. I want to have good feelings towards everyone. I don't want bad feelings towards anyone. I might be living vicariously through this stream, listening in on All Out. I just purchased an Xbox Series X. I'm not sure I want to spend another $50 so soon, says Jilly. Do you like what AEW is doing with Jeff Hardy? I don't really like what Jeff Hardy's doing with Jeff Hardy. I sort of feel like I've watched a few of his matches and they've been a bit... I don't know, man. He just seems to be missing a step. Do you know what? Seems like a no longer in his prime Jeff Hardy. Go figure. He's a legend. Everyone loves him. The crowd pop when he comes out. But it's just been a while since I've seen like a really good Jeff Hardy match. And some of it's been a little bit clunky. So it's nothing to do with AEW. It's just everything to do with where Jeff Hardy is at this stage in his career, I think. So let's see how this goes. This could be all right. Could be all right. Short. I mean, there's only 14 minutes left. Hard hitting, taking on Darby Allin. Could be all right. Jeff is wearing his 2K22 attire. Every time I see Sammy and Ty, my fingers start gravitating towards the back of my throat. Dixie Carter using Daddy's millions. She was using your dad's millions. Is that what she was doing? That's uncalled for. I'm surprised that you refer to your... that you use Daddy's, but fair play. Dixie Carter using Daddy's millions to run a wrestling company. Kinda sounds familiar, ATK. That's why they're friends, James. That's why they're friends. That's why it's going to happen. They stick together. Did you see that she's related to Ant and Dec? Or one of the Ants and the Decs. One of them. Maybe it's them. Perhaps Dixie Carter's the Joker for the women's tournament, and maybe either Ant or Dec's the Joker for the men's tournament. No one would know who they are. We would know. We would know. Hardy walks into a party sporting Armani. If you know, then you know. Tommy said AEW's not good for Jeff. Jeff looks like he's in a ton of pain. Dave, hello. Hope you are well. Dixie becomes general manager of AEW. Here we go. Darby diving onto Jeff. Going underneath the ring. Grabbing chairs. Is this no... What's happening? What's going on? Is this no rules? Why, what's happening? Darby setting up a load of chairs on the outside of the ring. God, how many chairs is he setting up here? Are we having a meeting or something? What's going on? We've got 8 chairs lined up. Darby gets slammed face first into the ring steps. Yeah, Dixie was related to Dec Carter. It would be great if one of the duos turns heel. It should be Sting and Darby. Matt just turned face. I don't believe so, Dortnight. I don't believe so. Is Jeff working injured? Because he does seem a little bit off. He's probably always working injured. Big clothesline and Darby goes down. I love the spine painted onto Darby's back, says Heather. Does look cool. That does look cool. Is your dream women's match Brandy Rose versus Ty Conti? It's not even anything I can add to that, really. Just sounds like an absolute nightmare. Right, we've got ring steps set up on their sides. Is this no count out? Into it chucks him in the ring to break the count. Strike coming in. Lucas, shout out to you. Wrestling said this is not gonna end well. James said, hopefully we get Sting versus Jeff, but done right this time. There's a ladder that's been pulled out from underneath the ring. We've still got these chairs set up. Jeff bringing a ladder into the ring. Are you allowed to do this? Could he get a bigger ladder? We've got Jeff Hardy one end. We got Darby the other. They throw the ladder away. Kick to the midsection by Jeff. Oh, lovely. Code red. Code red by Darby. Yeah, that was nice. I don't know if they said we're at picture-in-picture, but we're 8 minutes away. Lister Jericho said, this does seem a little bit overkill for a friendly match. I know. This is what you would expect between MJF and Wardlow. Darby chants. Darby grabs Jeff Hardy, goes against the ropes. No. Oh, spinning back elbow. Yeah, jawbreaker. Jeff on his feet. Going over to Darby. Is up, comes crashing down. I think Darby felt that. Selling it. Selling it a dream. Jeff needs to bang a quick key to be fair. Jeff's great, but in the twilight of his career, says James. No rules, no DQ. Let's just say there isn't. Look, the crowd are chanting, "We want tables." Why do people always want tables? I don't understand. People always what? I'm never bothered by tables. I have never sat watching a match thinking, "Oh, I'd love a table in this now. I'd love a good table here." But it is a real go-to champ for people. Ladder set up. Darby on the chairs. Darby's got to move. He's got to move. Look, Darby's looking at Jeff, watching him slow. I mean, it couldn't be slower. It couldn't be slow. I feel like time's going backwards. He's got to move. Look, he's in position. I think he will. Jeff Hardy going up this ladder. Darby does move. That's good. That's good. I'm pleased he did. If he'd have just stayed there and took that bump. It took way too long for Jeff to get up that ladder. Pulls him off the ladder and Jeff Hardy goes onto the ropes. They pipe in the "We Want" table chants. Do they? Fans love tables, says Boomers. Darby's gone up that ladder. Jeff's on top of the chairs now. Darby. Oh, my God. That's a mad spot, man. That's a mad spot. He came crashing down on him. Oof. 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 Every time I see it, it's horrible. Oof. Why are we doing this? Why? I don't understand. I mean, I feel like Darby Allin's risking like breaking his back there for what, a first round Owen Hart tournament match against someone that we all thought he like proper respected. Darby is a psycho. The fans shouting for tables actually want tables because there's nowhere to put their popcorn and drinks. We want tables. We need tables. You're absolutely right, Dave. You've called it, mate. You've called it. Jeff down, going over to the ropes. I felt that through the screen, says Reese Wrestling. My back hurts just watching that. Coffin drop on the edge of the ring. Darby saying to Jeff, these guys do Rampage. Better get ready. Darby got kicked in the face and went down for 3 minutes, but flipped off a ladder onto chairs and then got up 30 seconds later. The dude is crazy. Crazy. Jumped, FanFest? Double or Nothing FanFest? Being the Elite Championship title defense, AEW Games panel. There's a FanFest that you can attend. Darby being smacked into the top of some ring steps. Top coming off by Jeff Hardy. Talking of tables, do you think Bully Ray could show up? Don't know. Is he rumoured to? He's still doing Busted Open, isn't he? Senton off the top. Darby moves out the way and he comes crashing down onto the edge of those stairs. Another back shattered. I feel the chair one looked more brutal, but that still can't have been fun. These bumps cannot be fun to take. Back eliminated. Liz Jericho said, "This is unnecessary. Why is this a street fight?" Here we go. Going up top. Darby going for a coffin drop. Gets it. 1, 2. Shoulder up. Reverse 1, 2, 3. Jeff pins Darby. Jeff pins Darby. JR says, Jeff Hardy wins one of the best matches we have ever seen on AEW Dynamite. Jeff wins. Darby has said in interviews he doesn't fear death. That is a scary person to have on your roster. I think he showed that in this match. I think he definitely showed that in his match. I think he actively wants to meet death and have a conversation. That chair spot, man. That chair spot is one of the damnedest things I've seen. A broken back out of 5 for me. Sometimes wrestlers think they have great ideas. You have to hope there's someone around in the match planning with a bit of a hang on, lads. Hang on, lads. Right. I think we are done. What do you score AEW Dynamite? What do you score AEW Dynamite? 8 to 10. 7-2-7-5. We've got the Undisputed Elite that have come walking out. So, Undisputed Elite have come walking out. Not doing anything. Hardy's just giving the delete. Delete, delete, delete. Great match. Wrong person won. Darby is a legend. What was your moment of the night? Maybe the chair thing at the end. That was really impressive. It's hard to beat that. I really like the dark side of the ring thing, though. I thought that was really, really good. I didn't mind the... I thought Jamie Hayter looked quite good. It was a little bit botchy in places. But, yeah, I thought it was all right. First match as well with Adam Cole and Dax was quite good. I feel like I think people will be split on that main event. I think that it's all well and good to have those kind of matches. Just a bit weird that it was between, first round Owen Hart. There'd been no, or certainly haven't seen any build that this was going to be that match. I was just expecting a match, Owen Hart first round tournament thing. But I don't even know if they said that you could use weapons and all this in the match. I don't know. So I don't know. But the chair spot was amazing, and they really went for it. I think there was plenty that was positive on this week's show. Miss Clown says 6. Tahil says 8. Larry says 8. Luke says 11. Logan says 8. Jilly says 7.5. Rivy said 437. Heather says 825. Jay says 7.5. Blaze Radio says 8.5. Carl says 9. James says 8. Dylan says 8. Chair spot was amazing. Let Him In says 8. Dort Knight, shout out to you. Yeah, I thought this was good. I would go 2.5. It's toying between 7.5, 7.25. About that. It was a good show. I don't really have any complaints, says Jilly. Brenton, me and you, baby. Me and you. Maldy said, I've gone 7.75, not 8, because wrong win in the main event. Jordan said it was really good, AEW. Lee says 6.25. Let Him In says 8. Wrestling Regal says 9. Salvador says 8. Eric said, if I'm being honest, 6.75. I expect everyone to be honest. Zachary says 10 out of 10 for William Regal and the ending. Heather said, Darby requested this anything goes. It's in his YouTube promos. LT says 8. Bruce says 9. Lucas says 10. Steve says 6. Virtual Fat Ass says that Darby ladder spot 2. 11 out of 10. I'm done. Good night. Good night. Ledge Killer says 7.5 out of 2. Jim said 7. From a women's wrestling stance, NXT was better since almost every match was a women's match. Master Chief said 10 out of 10. Never have we seen such wrestling. Bracket 7.25 from what I saw. Guncast says 8. Almighty Nick says 7.2. I would say people enjoyed it. Blaze said they did announce Anything Goes match earlier in the show. Oh, well, that passed me by then. Because I wasn't expecting that at all. Hustle for Love. Appreciate the support. Right, let's... where are we? If we can get to 150, then we'll wrap up the poll. AEW is stale, says Tommy. Always Big O says 8.5. Jonathan said 7.25. What? Colm said 7.5. Nelson says 5. Zoom Station says 6.5. Smurfy Toon says 7. Matt says 10 out of 10. Heather said at least Darby got more shine in this match. He will be back in the TNT title picture again soon, I hope. We need 8 more votes. 8 more votes. And then we'll wrap up the poll and we'll wrap up the stream. As James Jones said, this company is going a different direction. Their original don't stand a chance. Phil says 8.5 for me. Top show. Ledge Killer says 7.5. Jonathan says, come on, what women's match was great? Gavin said the last match was everything. Boomer says 3.75. Lucas said I need to go to bed. No worries, Lucas, because we're over 150 anyway, mate. So let's have a look and see what people are scoring it. It is 8 to 10, 50%, 34% said 7 to 7.5, 7% said 6 to 6.75, and 7% said 5.75 or below. So 84% said 7 or above, with 50% saying 8 or above. So just with the little snapshot that we took, it seems like people really enjoyed this week's episodes. Awesome, guys. Appreciate the support as always. Glad to see people enjoying this week's show. We are back on Friday with Rampage and SmackDown. And then there's a few things coming up this weekend, but we'll worry about them in the future. But big shout out to everyone that's joined us. Really appreciate the support. Enjoy the rest of your evenings, and I will see you again next time. Bye for now.